right, so welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I typically only come here for leisure, as you can see my minimal pop-ups, but I just want to take you guys along the journey with me as I, move down here, become settled down here, get familiar with the areas and the places down here, and I don't know, I guess just telling y'all how I'm settling in so far. So as you recall, if you haven't seen it, go look at my first video. When I first moved down here, I moved to Norcross. They had cheaper apartments there. It was a little ghetto, but I survived. And then as you also know from my prior videos, I also bought a house. So I've seen some of the comments saying like, oh, you used some of the proceeds that you sold your house in Philadelphia to buy a house in Georgia. And that is correct. This is why I always preach home ownership, especially if you have kids. Now, if, to each his own, to each his own. Everybody has different circumstances. Everybody has things that works out for everybody based on their circumstances. For our circumstances, I definitely thought it'd be a better choice to buy a house when we were in Philadelphia as soon as we could. We used the proceeds that we made from the house in Philadelphia to buy the house in Georgia. So that's how we were able to buy this house in Georgia. Now, where we bought our house at when we moved to Georgia was Lawrenceville, Georgia. Okay. So just so you know, that's just how it went. So far, we've lived in Lawrenceville, Georgia for about 3 years, okay? Lawrenceville, Georgia is located in Gwinnett County, and Gwinnett County is most known for their very good schools. Not all schools in Gwinnett County are good schools, and not all cities in Gwinnett County are good cities and areas. So just make sure you're doing your research. I would definitely get used to the zip code method. If you are looking for good zip codes in Lawrenceville, Georgia, the best zip code I thought was, there was, I think it's 30043 and 30044. Don't quote me on that, but I like those two. I like 30046 as well. So those are 3 area codes I thought were nice area codes for Lawrenceville, Georgia. Because I didn't live in any other part of, Gwinnett County, such as Gwinnett County, such as Beaufort, Duluth, or any of those other places, Alpharetta. Alpharetta is not a part of Gwinnett. I think that's a part of Fulton. But like I said, because I haven't lived in any of those other areas of, Gwinnett County, I can't quite comment. The areas that are up and coming, just so you know, the houses are kind of high, but it's like half country vibe, half city vibe. Like they're actually like building out as we speak. So the 2 areas that have really good school systems building out as we speak, up and coming, might get them for a decent price for nice neighborhoods, half country, half city, like, that is Loganville and Grayson. So I'm dropping some gems in there just in case you come to move down here. You're thinking like, I have a family, I'm more about that family vibe. I want that kind of laid back vibe, but I also want to be close to everything. Grayson, Loganville area is really good. Where did I move to? As you can see from the caption, it says I moved, and we moved to Macon, Georgia. Yay! Why did I move to Macon, Georgia? Several reasons. Number one, I'm gonna be honest with you. The traffic in Gwinnett County is too much for me. As time went on, as we started to stay in Lawrenceville, we noticed that the traffic has become a whole lot more congested. It was congested going to Beaufort, because, that's where the Mall of Georgia is. And a lot of the shops around there are in Beaufort. We lived in a pretty good location. We lived really close to Lawrenceville Center City, and like downtown Lawrenceville is so dope. Like if you get the chance, go down there and like check it out. They have pretty cool restaurants, places you can eat outside on the deck, rooftop. You know what I'm saying? Really nice, chill vibes. So they got a lot going on down there. And I liked it. I liked being close. I had 2 Home Depots, 2 Walmarts. I liked being close to all those things, but As you know, I didn't like it that much as far as the traffic. Now, the traffic became a lot. They were doing a lot down there, a lot of development. That's not bad. It's just not my speed. I don't like being held up in traffic because a lane is shut down because they're updating stuff for infrastructure, which are good things. I don't like, when places become popular and then other places become unpopular. For example, if Atlanta becomes unpopular, then surrounding areas of Atlanta become popular, because when people start to become congested and the cost of living is too high in those areas, they start to move outwards, and they are more than likely going to move to the areas that are the next best thing. And in my personal opinion, Gwinnett County is the next best thing. I don't care what nobody says. I've been to all the areas. I've been to Cobb County. I've been to DeKalb County. I've been to Douglas County. I've been to all these counties. Okay. And in my personal opinion, Gwinnett County to me is the next best county. I've been to Augusta. We were looking for houses there. I've been to Savannah, Georgia. I've been out there one time to the beach, but that's, in my opinion, the next best thing that's close to Atlanta is Gwinnett. I'm just being honest. Now, let's get down to the bread and butter. The reason why people are leaving Atlanta could be for several reasons. Cost of living is going up. Traffic is getting crazy down there because a lot of people are moving away from California, away from New York, and they're moving to Georgia. And guess where they're going? Yes, Atlanta. So, and some people are moving out of Atlanta. And where are they going? Probably surrounding areas. So yeah, and honestly, I wanted a slower pace of life. So we came to Macon. The feedback that we got about Macon was crazy. We were coming out here looking. We were looking in Macon. We were looking in Augusta, and we were looking at some other areas that were like in the middle of Georgia. We also looked in Rome, Georgia, and LaGrange, Georgia. I'm dropping some gems just so y'all won't come down here and be like, oh, the only place I can go is A, B, and C. There's a lot of nice places down here that are up and coming in development equity. And you could definitely move to these places so that you can get ahead of the curve. So again, those were the places I was looking. I did not get a chance to go to Columbus, Georgia. I heard it was pretty good over there, but you could try that out for yourself. I've heard things about, what about McDonough? McDonough's okay. Conyers is up and coming. Just dropping some gems. Stockbridge, I'm not sure. So that's the places that I was thinking about, that was on my list. Walnut Grove, that were on my list, that I was looking at, that I'm like, we seen a few places in Loganville. We seen a few places in Grayson. We were looking everywhere. So I had an aunt that lived in Macon. She was here for a little while. She married her husband. They're no longer together anymore, but this is who she went to school down here in Macon, and she met someone down here in Macon, and she has family down here in Macon through marriage. I have family through blood down here. And so, I like to ask people, like, what's your thoughts on Macon? Like, what do you think about it? Oh, the feedback that I got. And this is why I always urge people to travel, experience things before you just go for things. So the first feedback that I got was that Macon, especially West Macon, they're crazy. And it's ghetto. Just being honest, it's ghetto. That's the feedback that I got. I'm just being straightforward, because people will say, it's a little crazy out there. It's a little weird, a little crazy, weird vibes, whatever. Okay. The second thing that I got was half of Georgia is racist, and that would be the north part of Georgia. And I'm going to say this. I've only been here for maybe 3 months. So my information might not be that solidified, but let me be real with you. I'm in North Macon. I'm not in West Macon. I've traveled to West Macon on several occasions. I've also traveled to other parts of Macon. I've been around Macon. Now, reason being is I just want to be exposed to different parts of Macon and see what's going on. Plus, wherever my travels took me is where I went. I don't care about whether or not it's crazy or not, because I'm crazy too. So, so, since I've been down here, North Macon has become a whole lot more diverse. Is it predominantly more white people than black people? Yes. Have I had a racist experience? I don't think so. And let me be completely honest with you. Because I have a IDGAF type of attitude, I went to a uni my uni was diverse. I have an IDGAF attitude. I don't really care for that type of thing because in my personal opinion, racism is ignorance. It's just that simple for me. And so I'm not the type of person that really pays attention to racist cues or anything that may be racist. So if you're taking my word for it, be a little cautious. I'm just being real about my personal experience because nothing came to me in that manner. Now, the school that my children go to is predominantly black. Does that mean it's predominantly black down here? No. Will you consider that to be racist? Probably. Where do you think the white kids go to school? Probably the charter schools and private schools in the area. Is the school in the area a good school? Based on statistics, based on my research, based on ratings, it's a good school. So why isn't the white kids going to the same school as the black kids? I don't know. So these are the things that I have a question mark on that I'm not quite sure of yet. But when the time comes, I guess I'll get that information and I'll relay it over to you if I feel like it's that important. If it's something ignorant like, oh, the past and oh, this and oh, that, or we're still being racist, then I just don't care to talk about it because let's be honest, racism is everywhere. Racism is everywhere. So you fight your battles in the hood, you fight your battles in the suburbs, you fight your battles in upper neighborhoods. It is what it is. So that's where I'm at with it. So far, the neighbors have been wonderful. They're really nice. Our first day here, we got stuck in the driveway. And my neighbor almost blew out his tires just to bring us up here, or just to get us, up on the driveway. And my other neighbor bought us a plant. So they're really nice. They're sweethearts. So far, everybody waved to us. No one was rude. We haven't had a rude experience yet. Everybody's just kind of minding their business, doing their thing. A lot of more of that country accent that I was saying I barely seen when I got here, or I barely heard, sorry, that I got here. A lot more predominant down here. So those are some of the good things. And I didn't notice that it was it's more normalized when you go further down south of the accent. So, where the accent's not strong is where it's predominantly, Atlanta, Metro Atlanta area. But as you go further down south, you'll start to hear it. And it's very comforting. I like being around something that I'm not used to, especially when it comes to language and, different types of linguistic styles. So it's interesting to me. I love it. My kids seem to be adjusting very well down here. The houses are cheaper. You get more for your money. The cost of living is cheaper. And though the gas prices are a little high down here, the food and the products are cheaper. So if you're in a recession, definitely moving is a good option, especially if you have a plan and a strategy. That's my number one thing. I say it in all my videos. Before you go anywhere, have a plan and a strategy. I don't care if you rent. I don't care if you buy. I don't care if you're going here. I don't care if you're going there. Have a plan and a strategy. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, so far, Macon has been, look up your zip codes when you're moving to certain places. If you say, I want to move to Augusta, look up the best zip codes in Augusta. From my understanding, the best area in Augusta to live in is Evans, Georgia. I'm dropping gems. That's all I'm trying to do is drop gems. But yeah, they have that was one of the areas we were looking in. It's very hard to find a nice house out there. We found a very nice house out there for a very cheap price. They're not that expensive either. And they have a lot of stuff going on out there. I have a cousin that lives out there, so shout out to you. But yeah, so just, if you're coming down here, have a plan, have a strategy. Macon, Georgia is definitely a place I'm giving a thumbs up on. I like it. So far, I have no complaints. We're in zone 8. If you're into gardening, I'm into gardening. The diversity as far as plants and animals, just beautiful. The peace, you can't put a price on peace. Do I live across the forest again? Yes. I kind of moved to a similar house, just in a different area with a better school. So that's all I wanted to do. I just want to provide you guys with an update. I just want to give you a warning. The traffic laws alone in Georgia will kill you. They will kill you. So when you're out here, I know there's people who come from New York and people come from other states, they speed. I'm just warning you. It's not a joke. Their super speeder stuff is a hot mess. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this in my other video, but their traffic laws are a nightmare. That's all I had to say. I'm going through a lot. It's a lot. And it doesn't even have to be a true situation. You just have to be near somebody speeding. Just be careful. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I just want to give you guys an update about what's going on, where I moved to, why I moved, how I'm adjusting down here, and if there's anything that I found interesting since I've been down here. And so far, I've provided you with that information. And, I only post videos when I feel like it. This is not this does nothing for me. I'm just relaying over information in case you're thinking about moving to Georgia. And I've heard Macon a lot in some of these videos, people mentioning Macon, Georgia a lot and investing down here. But it's also a really good place to live as well, especially if you choose the right place. Do some research on the area. If you have kids, do some research on the schools. If you have dogs, do some research on local dog parks, the dog sitting centers and things like that. Just, plan. But yeah, the parks out here are still really good. We go to, I forgot the name of that park already, but we have a pretty decent park out here. Very beautiful trails, beautiful rivers. I mean, the scenery out here is just beautiful. So when we go to our drive to Lawrenceville, when we were in the middle of selling our home, we would drive past some scenic, just take the back roads. If you have the time, always take the back roads. I mean, the views. It's the views for me. It's just the views for me. It's doing it. It's doing it. Yeah. So that's all I had to say. It's evening over here. I don't know what time it is on your end, but it's evening over here. So you guys have a good night. It's not cold over here yet. I know you see me with a turtleneck on, but it's not cold. It's actually 80 degrees outside. So that's wonderful too. But yeah, I mean, have a good night. If you're in a cold area, snuggle up with your Snuggie. If you're in a warm area, get prepared for dinner. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll keep you updated. I think I'm going to make another video, but it's not going to be concerning Georgia. This is a family channel, so everything's not going to be about a state. It's more about my journey here. Has nothing to do with places to live or anything like that. I'm just dropping jewels because I live here. But it's really about my life. So have a good night. And if you like the channel or if you like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you like the channel, you can subscribe. I mean, if you want to. Nobody's forcing you. And have a good night. Bye.